Hello everyone, wish you a very happy and good morning. Today we will be doing the fourth poetry from your Flamingo. Okay, and what's the name? It's A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. You must have heard the name of Wordsworth. Okay, he was a nature poet. Similarly, Keats also is nature poet. By the way, what do we mean by a nature poet? Nature poet means one who gets the subject matter or has the theme which is centered around the nature, or he takes objects from nature and describes them or gives them a shape or beauty. That is what we call nature poets. Here John Keats, let's see the introduction over here, and before that I would say in this poetry John Keats is trying to highlight the importance of things. What things? Beautiful things. What role beautiful things play in the life of a human being. How important they are in the life of human being. And that is how through different examples he is trying to show. That's the main theme, and that's why we feel the title is also appropriate, A Thing of Beauty. Now let's see about the poet. What is it is written over here. John Keats was a British romantic poet. Romantic poet doesn't mean that he talks about romance or love affairs and so on. Okay, here romantic poet is why he is designated as so, because he shows his love for nature. He picks out objects from nature, how they, what role or how they are lovable to him or human beings. That's why here his love for nature was beyond the limit, and that's why he is known as a romantic poet. Although trained to be a surgeon, he was trained as a surgeon also, but still he was devoted towards the nature, he was devoted towards poetry, and so totally he dedicated himself towards poetry. Keats' secret, his power to sway and delight readers, lies primarily in his gift for perceiving the world and living his moods and aspirations in terms of language. What does he say? That what is his secret? That is, he had the power with the help of which he used to sway the audience. Sway means reading the poetry or reading his poetry. The reader would reach to the state of ecstasy, or they would sway, they would swing, and they would be delighted by reading his poetry. And how could he do that? He is saying that because lies primarily in his gift. He had a gift. And what was the gift? That he had the power of perceiving, seeing the world in a different eye, and at the same time living his moods and aspirations. With the help of these things or whatever he found, whatever gift he found from nature, with that he was aspired. Okay? And with his aspirations and things, how did he explain it, or how did he make his thoughts or his mood reach to the readers? With the help of language. Then the following is an excerpt. Which following? This poem. This poem is a part, or excerpt means a part taken from where? From one of the poem named Eng.med. That is a poetry which deals with a Greek legend and a poetic romance is seen over here. This poet is based on a Greek legend, Greek theme, Greek myth, and in there Endymion is who? Endymion is a young shepherd, and the poet who lived in Mount Latmos. He is a shepherd and as a poet, and he lived where? In Mount Latmos. And there, what did he see? He had a vision of Cynthia. Now, who is Cynthia? The the moon goddesses. And he was attracted. The enchanted youth resolved to seek her out. Okay? He was very attracted by this beauty or by the moon goddesses, and he went in search of, wandered through the forest, down the sea, under the sea, everywhere. For what? In search of the moon goddesses Cynthia. And and in course of doing so, whatever beautiful objects he came across, or maybe because he did not get Cynthia, maybe possibilities are there. So he was sad, he was depressed, and then how did his boredom, sorrow, sadness could be overruled, or how did he get rid of that? By seeing the beautiful things which he came across in his course of moving towards through the forest as well as under the sea, when he went in search of this book. This is the introduction or about the poem. Let's move with the poetry. A thing of beauty is joy forever. What is the poet saying? That a beautiful thing gives what? Gives joy. And this joy is forever. Means this joy is everlasting. Okay? Never ends. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. What happens? Is this beautiful thing keeps on, its beauty increases day by day. How? Because when we are attached to a beautiful thing, a person, a thing, a scenery, some objects from nature, okay, some animals, so they become very close to us. And as we are dear to them, as they come closer to us, as they become part and parcel of our life, what happens? They become lovable. We feel they are becoming more and more beautiful. This is not only the physical beauty, what the poet is talking about. Okay, and then what we feel, loveliness, its beauty increases, keeps on giving us a soothing effect, keeps on boosting our vigor, our strength, our stamina. Okay, and then what will happen? It will never pass into nothingness. We feel it is an everlasting object in our life. It is an everlasting person in our life. We don't want it to be diminished. We don't want it to the beauty of it to lessen. So what is that? Pass into nothingness. That beauty will never end. But then what? But will keep a power quiet. When we are attached to that thing, what happens? Every time it is we remember the thing. We remember the beautiful moments. We remember the beautiful objects, and then it has a place in our mentality, okay, in our brain, and there is a place we feel they develop a place. A bower means bower quiet is a shady place. So there we see that when lots of people are there in our house, we have guests. What do? To get rid of the chaos and confusion, we go to a place which gives us comfort, which gives us shade. When we are exhausted, when we are tired, we go in search of some place that at least 10 minutes if we sit down, we will be relaxed. So here, this beautiful thing, a power quiet for us. It proves, these beautiful objects proves as a shady place for us, underneath whom we get the attire at most satisfaction. And sleep, when we are satisfied, when we are comfortable, okay, under its shade or in its company, what happens? We are very relaxed. We sleep, we have a sound sleep. And when we have a sound sleep, the sound sleep is full of sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. We are relaxed, no worries, no tension, no depression. Okay, and so what happens? Sweet dreams are there. And these sweet dreams when we are relaxed, we breathe quiet breathing, relaxed breathing. Okay, a sound sleep, and in course of that, when you have a sound sleep, no tension, no worries, then of course health will also be improved. We have good health. Therefore, on every morrow, because of that, therefore, every morrow means next day, tomorrow, every day by day, what are we doing? Are we weaving a flowery band to bind us to the earth? And that is why breathing means binding. So we feel that there is some entanglement, some attachment with whom? With us and the earth. Some connection is there. Flowery, something that is soft. He is talking about nature. So he is saying that we like the flower, the nature, the beautiful objects. These objects tie us. Who gives us this object? Nature. So through this object, we are tied, a connection, a link, a relationship develops within us and the earth. And who is doing this? Who is the mediator? The beautiful object. And here he is giving an example. Flowery band, soft, tender connection is there between the beautiful objects that we get from us, and these objects bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence. Despondence is what? Depression, suffering, sorrows, hopelessness of the inhuman. Here, dirt means that something that is lacking. Saying this earth lacks something. Why? Because of whom? He is saying that the depression, the hopelessness, the sorrows, the sufferings, spite of that. Okay? But the earth, it is inhuman. Inhuman people are there who are not human, who do not have human qualities, who are not good, who are not noble. They are full of selfishness. They are full of hatred. Okay? And then these all things are odd, bad things. Negativity is there. And then he's saying of noble nature. Inhuman, dirt of noble nature. Dirt, these people who are inhuman, they lack noble nature. They do not have good qualities. They are full of sad. They are full of negativity. And this drags us what? Of the gloomy days, of the unhealthy and overdone days. Because we are centered around these sort of people, our days becomes gloomy. Means our life becomes dull, gloomy, sad, and then because of that we are shadowed, we are darkened, over darkened, we are surrounded by dark clouds of this inhuman qualities. These people who have the inhuman qualities and unhealthy and over darkened ways. Then that is why we travel towards the ways, we move to the ways which are not fair, which are not good. How are they? They are unhealthy and dark clouds are. These ways are covered over darkened ways. Dark clouds are over these ways. Made of for our searching. And when we are surrounded by all these odd qualities or these inhuman people, then what do? We are exhausted, we are in depression, we are sad. So we go in search to get rid of something that can relieve us from this pain. We go in search of something who would move us, help us to move away from these things. And then we go in search of those things. In spite of, we go in search. What do we get? In spite of all these drawbacks, hatredness, selfishness, negative qualities, okay, some shape of beauty moves away them. Okay, this dark cover, what we are surrounded by, that is removed to certain extent. Some shapes of beauty means some beautiful thing if we come across, some beautiful people if we come across. This is not the outward beauty, the look, no, the inner beauty. Okay, some things, beautiful things from nature if we come across, then what happens is they move away the heart. They take away the dark cover. They take away our sorrows, our hopelessness, and from our dark spirits. He's saying that beautiful things, that what they help us to come out from the dark spirits we are surrounded by. And then here the poet gives some examples of these beautiful objects that relieves us from the sorrows, the despondence and things. And what are they? The sun with the help of its beautiful rays, okay, washes up. The rays, when they pour upon us, we are relaxed. Okay, then the moon, underneath the beautiful moonlit night, if we sit and observe or enjoy the beauty of the moon, we are relaxed. We forget all the worries, the sufferings. No one is the moon and us. So here, then trees old and young. You go and sit under a beautiful tree, a shady tree. When it gives the cool breeze underneath, the sound of the leaves falling down or the dry leaves beating each other and making a crackling sound. The birds sitting on the tree and making the sound. We are diverted to that. They are beautiful objects. They relieve us from the pain, the sufferings, the sorrows with which we are overloaded. Okay, so the trees, young or old trees, we see the beautiful flowers in the trees. We are enchanted. We are attracted. So he's saying that trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. He's told that young trees, they sprout, they give us. What do they give? A shady boon. It seems that this tree, like a mother, is caressing us. When we sit under the shady tree and we are relaxed, we see the beautiful flowers, the chirping of the birds, then we are relaxed. And it seems to be a blessing, a boon. That it is as a mother is caressing a disturbed child who is exhausted. Then other examples, from simple ship and such a daffodil. Ships, you see the herd of sheep, cow moving around. We enjoy we remember the Almighty, how He has shaped these animals. They are also beautiful objects of nature. No, they do not have these negative qualities. They are not selfish. They are engrossed in their own world. This teaches us a lesson. Okay? Then other beautiful things are the daffodils, the beautiful flowers with a green world. Green world is the green forest where we see these daffodils peeping out from them. That beauty also enchants us. And clear reels, the small streams from the mountains, they are coming out with the same rhythm and giving. They are not at all selfish like the human beings which we see on the earth. What are they doing? On their way, whatever things come, they are not selfish that I will give water to them and the other I will not give. Whatever, whosoever are thirsty, exhausted, dull, everything, whatever is coming on the way, these reels are washing them out or quenching their thirst, the animals, the insects, whatsoever, okay, the human beings, and this way reels that for themselves a cooling cover. Cooling cover is the relaxation, the comfort these reels give, whom may against the hot season. In the hot season, due to the scorching heat of the sun, many things on the earth are dry, and these reels quench their thirst. They give these things, the objects, the people, whosoever, a cooling cover, a cooling effect, soothes them. Okay? And the mid forest break. Break is flow. It is when the streams then flow through the forest also and quench their thirst. This forest, the trees in the forest, due to the scorching heat, have dried up. They are thirsty due to a lack of water. So the streams, when they move, break is flow. When they flow towards through the forest, they quench the thirst of the dry trees. They are not selfish. Reach with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, and as soon as the plants in the trees in the forest get this water, or they are blessed by these clear reels, what happened? Immediately they sprinkle out, and from what sprinkles out? A fair mask rose blooms, the flowers which were not able to bloom out due to lack of water, they bloom out. A sweet smell which was dumped in, okay, that also because of the comfort these reels give them. Okay, the trees get the water, so the whole atmosphere is bloomed. Whole atmosphere is the whole fragrance of this beautiful flower is spread everywhere, and the dull atmosphere in the forest becomes what? Happy. The bird starts chirping, the flower starts blooming, a sweet smell is seen spreaded everywhere. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms. And he's saying that grandeur is, dooms means death. And this is the way that the doom is death, and grandeur is the important, socially important people. He's saying that such are the important people, even though they are dead, they are no more in this world. Still, he's saying next line that we have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales that we have heard or read. When we read about these great people, when we read about these great personality, Mahatma Gandhi, okay, Jawaharlal Nehru, Rani, Jhansi ki Rani, all these. Then what happened? Even though we don't know, but we, as soon as we read about them, we feel their images before us. Okay, and we are proud that they were part of us. And so he's saying, even though they are read, these socially important grandeur, socially important things, socially important people, or the things in this world, even though they are no more, even though these people are no more, we have imagined for the mighty. Okay, they are dead, but they are mighty. Their strength, their name, fame still is there. And how do we come to know? From the lovely tales, the stories when are told, stories about them when they are told, we know about them. We feel that they are lively, even though dead are present between us or within us. An endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens bring. And when we get all these things, and when the time comes at this moment that all our sorrows, sufferings, despondence, inhuman qualities, the people who were around, they are no more with us. And even if they are, we are diverted towards these beautiful objects. We have bind us with the earth. These beautiful objects had brought us closer to the earth, closer to nature. And when we are relaxed, then we feel that some fountain of immortal drink. Okay, when we give something saying that all these beautiful things then comes upon us, and this beautiful, the soothing effect what these beautiful things gives, we feel it is equal to an immortal drink that comes in the form of a fountain. Okay, from the fountain, from the heaven it comes, and it pours on us like a fountain. From the heavens brink is the edge. So these beautiful objects, the satisfaction, the relaxation, what these beautiful things give us, okay, we feel that it is equivalent to some immortal drink. Immortal drink means which after drinking that will never die. That sort of effect is that. Means after enjoying the beauty of these natural objects, we feel we are soothed by the soothing effect what one gets after having the immortal drink. That effect we get, and we feel that as if the Almighty or heaven is pouring upon us. It's coming this as a fountain. This drink is pouring upon us from the heavens brink, that is heaven's edge. So this way the beautiful objects play a vital role in us, and they relieves us from all the pain and suffering what we have when we are in its company. Let us go with the poetic devices what we have. Here this poetry is full of imagery what we have. Okay, then alliteration is there and metaphor is also there. You will see in the first line it says this thing, you see a bower quite for us. Here the figure of speech used is metaphor, because it's the shade, the satisfaction what we get, it's a metaphor. Then here we have, you see, the imagery is flowery band. Imagery is what? Something what we were hearing the word, the images of those things are just before us lively. So a flowery band is again, it is an imagery. At the same time, what is it? It's a metaphor also. Then gloomy days, here it is transferred epithet. Gloomy days. Then at the same time, see, such and sun, S sound is repeated, so this is alliteration. At the same time, you see the alliteration, you know, when the sound is repeated, then we have alliteration, okay, and when the word is repeated, it is repetition. At the same time, we see on the next page, you see simple and ship, so sound is repeated, and that is also alliteration. At the same time, green world in next line. Green world, when we say, we have the image of the green atmosphere, the greenery, the green forest and so on. So that is again imagery. Then a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. this word. This is also imagery over here, and we feel when we say smell rose, that we feel how the rose smells. So that is also imagery. Then at the same time, mighty and dead. This is oxymoron, because mighty, something that is mighty and dead, two opposite words are used over, so that is oxymoron. In the next line, her sound, H sound in have and heard, that is all used, or that is her sound, H sound in have and heard. So that is what? Alliteration over here. The next line, an endless fountain of immortal drink. This is metaphor again, and pouring onto us from the heavens spring. Here something that is pouring, we feel the image. So here the line what we have is imagery. So I hope then pulling covered, here also alliteration, C sound in pulling and covered, that is again we find over here. And mostly I feel I have explained all the figure poetic devices. Okay, so here I complete the poem and hope you have understood it. Okay, just go with the videos and I hope you will enjoy. And now on, whenever you are you feel lonely, or you feel that ways are not so clear as you felt, so your paths are not so clear, you are exhausted, okay, then you go in the lap of nature, and I hope you will be relaxed from your situation. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.